and we race. Textbook perfect start from Kamada. He's already gone as Arvid Lindblad slides down the inside. And the Red Bull Junior, the Londoner, into second place. Great start also from Alex Pell, who's got up ahead of Joel Bergström. The Swede is ahead of Arvid Lindblad. Sorry, ahead of Nikolaj Soloff. I'm getting the KR drivers confused slightly. Nikolaj Soloff is being headed for the first time this weekend. He has dominated proceedings up to this point, but now he's got a fight. He's back in position 5. Great start from Joel. For the Forza Racing team, he's in position 4. Make that P5 because Nikolaj Soloff, before the first lap has even finished, starts to recover some ground lost. After a less than ideal start, he's in position 4. Kamada leads. Down into turn 1. Lindblad is staying with him. From Brazil, from the Queen's England, they run 1-2. And then the cool kid from the Caribbean, that's the Mercedes Junior, Alex Powell, in his first ever senior OK race. He's in position 3, rides the ripple strip. Aggressively does Lindblad. There's Soloff. And we go back to Zachary David, the Filipino driver, in position 6. Lindblad launches into the lead. Kamada tries to fight back. He'll have to do something very quickly because Alex Powell is right there, but even more worrying is Nikolaj Soloff. Powell down the inside, it's all going wrong for Kamada. From pole position, he's back into P3 as Soloff ragged over the ripple strip. A WRC moment, he was sideways on the exit to the chicane. Lindblad from England has got half a second over Alex Powell from Jamaica. Kamada from Brazil, P3. Then we go back to Zoloff. Bergström is staying with them as Zoloff goes down the inside and picks him off. Kamada from pole position is now off the podium. Bergström around the outside. He'll try and cut back into the 10-metre wide right-hand sweeper. Kamada goes defensive. His last ever kart race. At the moment, he's off the podium. Bergström will try and line him up into the hairpin. Anafa intelligently puts it in the middle of the track as he tries to regain some momentum. Look at Soloff ragged over the ripple strip. An absolute WRC move. Threw it down over the chicane. He was sideways over the ripple strip. The fastest driver on the track is Gustav Wisniewski. In the opening stages of this race, there is the Sauber Kart Republic of the pole as Bergström moves up to P4. Kamada fights back. The two Sauber Kart Republics of Zachary David and Gustav Wisniewski. They're ahead of Karol Pashovic, Keanu Bloom, and the second boy from Brazil, Matias Ferreira, P10. Good start from Kim Nakamura Berta. The newly crowned junior world champion has come from grid 17 to be up into position 11. Ahead of the young Australian on debut in WSK competition from Melbourne for Chemic Europe, it's Jesse Lacey. A very wide turn in from Arvid Lindblad. The gap is just 0.2 of a second. Soloff goes purple in sector 1, purple in sector 2, purple in sector 3. He records a 48.133. He was 0.3 of a second faster than Lindblad last time round. He's just playing with them at the moment. Diego Paulo Karting, DPK Karting, the team that is based a stone's throw from Fernando Alonso's Asturias circuit in the north of Spain. They have given the Bulgarian Lion a kart which is absolutely lightning quick here this weekend. But track positions everything. He's in position 3. Alex in his first ever senior race, P2, but he gives the slipstream, he gives the toe back to the Bulgarian. It is the Londoner still in the lead. Now Powell responds and he goes purple in the middle sector. It is Kart Republic 1, 2, 3 as Soloff sends it down the inside. Turn 3 goes position 2 at the end of the first quarter of the OK Final, the WSK Final Cup for 2021. Bergström is still holding P4, one step off the podium. He's pulled away from Gustav Wisniewski. Rafa Kamada, well, from pole position, his last ever race, he won't make the podium at this rate. He's fallen back to position 6. Down through the chicane, slightly cleaner that time from Nikolaj Soloff. It is a joy to watch. Alex Powell has not given up. stays with the Bulgarian, and Nikola Zolov a 48.025 goes purple again. We'll check the times of Joel Bergstrom. 2 to 3 tenths of a second off the KRs that run 1, 2, 3 here this afternoon. It is England, Bulgaria, and Jamaica who round out the podium at the moment. The yellow flag is out in the background. We'll try and tell you who that was for in just a moment. As Nikola just sits there, Alex is staying with him. We still have not even passed the halfway point of this race yet. Unfortunately, after that great start, the yellow flag was displayed for Jesse Lacey. The Australian and the German, Giuliano Holtzem, are both out. Joel Bergstrom, the gap last time, 2.3 seconds. It remains the same, fastest on the track now as Karel Pashovic. Forward racing, 2.40. He's back in 7th place. 8th place, in fact, he's 5.2 seconds off the fight for the lead. He needs the Kart Republics to fight amongst themselves. That's unlikely to happen until the dying laps at least. If Zolov just doesn't drive by Arvid Lindblad. Arvid will fight though. He is the WSK Supermaster Series champion. Euro Series champion, I should say, as Lindblad is now passed by Nikola Zolov. Well, this is ominous. We have not even passed half race distance. Zolov in the lead. There's Bergstrom in the background, just ahead of Wisniewski and Kamada. He was the WSK Supermaster Series champion at the start of the season. Kamada in P6 behind Wisniewski, ahead of Keanu Bloom, the Euro Series champion. That's Arvid Lindblad, and he's in 2nd place. Alex Powell just sits there, staying with his more experienced semi-teammates. So many carts being managed by Dino Chiesa, the legendary team manager who's managed so many drivers over the years, the likes of Giorgio Pantano, Alessandro Manetti, Nico Rosberg, of course, Lewis. He took Lewis to the 2000 Formula A Championship, 2 decades ago, when Lewis won 5 out of 8 finals in 2000. That was aboard I can't honestly remember if it was the CRG or the DC1 project. I think it was CRG. Regardless, it's the same engineering nous that has got 1, 2, 3 on the track. Joel Bergstrom running for Jamie Croxford's Forza Racing team with the GFR-tuned TM engines ahead of Gustav Wisniewski. Bergstrom driving superbly here this afternoon. At the moment, he's off the podium. Zolov with a 47.743, 3 tenths of a second faster than Lindblad last time round, despite passing the Londoner, the WSK Euro Series champion, the Red Bull Junior, for the lead of the race. They throw it down through the chicane. Lindblad won't give up a fight though. Give up without a fight. The gap, 0.2 of a second. Lindblad responds with a 47.704 half race distance, the WSK Final Cup here at Adria Karting Raceway, and it's not over yet. If he does fight young Alex, will be right there to challenge both Arvid and Nikola. Joel Bergstrom in the background has just been passed. He's back to P6. Wisniewski has gone through, as has Rafa Kamara. So Rafa, who traditionally does like to start on lower tyre pressures, is in P5 at the moment. Not out of it, but needs a disaster to fall before the front 3. Nikola Zolov from Sofia for the Spanish team of DPK Karting. Diego Paulo Karting in the Kart Republic, powered by the IAMI. The Londoner, that's Arvid Lindblad. Over the ripple strip is the Red Bull Junior. Alex Powell, whose father John, a former competitor in the World Rally Championship. Around about a decade ago, his first senior race is in P3. Bergstrom, he was next in line as Alex skates down into the right-hander. A slight correction that time from Lindblad. Bergstrom has gone back to 6th place. Lindblad staying with, look at the rubber being painted down on this 1,302-metre circuit. An hour south of the ancient city of Venice as they come onto the straight with 8 laps now remaining. Richens up the mixture. Fuel pouring into the 125cc engine as they bounce off the 16,000 RPM rev limiter. Zachary Davey, Keanu Bloom, Francesco Marengi going through. Marengi in P12 behind Arnold. And Trentin Nuradini, King Nakamura Berta, position 15. Kamara. Can he make it back onto the podium? He's a fair way off, but we've still got 8 laps to race. Lindblad is staying with Nikola Zoloff. Bounces over the grid through the left-hander. That'll cost him just a little bit of momentum. Over the ripple strip, gets the run, a tighter line ever so slightly from Arvid Lindblad. And the benefit of the slipstream, he looks over his right shoulder. Alex Powell is losing touch. Kamara is back into P4. Wants to finish what has been a brilliant karting career in style before joining us for the 2022 Italian F4 Championship. Powered by Arba, presented by WSK Promotion. Rafa Kamara at the moment 1 step off the podium. We thought Zoloff would drive into the distance. Such has been his form since the outset of qualifying. He took pole position with a time of 47.643. But just a few moments ago, Arvid Lindblad records a 47.577. Arvid halfway through the final. Sure, he's been helped by the rubber being painted onto the circuit. Arvid has gone faster than Nicola's qualifying time. They've also both gone faster than the majority of KZ drivers here as well. Lindblad staying with him, waiting to make his move. Zoloff, the Eastern European, versus Arvid with a Swedish father, the Indian mother from the Queen's England for the Italian team in second place, and the Jamaican in third place. The final quarter of the race, you can see how he bounces over the grip, tries to get the run. Zoloff just accelerates, clean down through the chicane, and ever so tight, or slightly tighter light from Arvid. Looks behind, he's got breathing space, a 47.526 now for Zoloff. They're going purple every lap. Zoloff has got 0.2 of a second. This is going to be a nail-biting finish. The independent karting republic of Dienchurch, Dino Chiesa. They run 1, 2, 3. Alex is now 1.2 seconds behind Lindblad. But at the moment, it looks as though he'll take the podium in his debut race in OK Senior. Lindblad loses a little bit of time on the entry to that left-hander into the hairpin. Down through the chicane with 4 laps now remaining. There's Kamara going through ahead of Wisniewski. Bergstrom still P6. Head of Pasic for Herder, Zachary David, and the Austrian Keanu Bloom. Alex goes through. There's Rafa. He has got 4 laps left to race in what has been a brilliant karting career. It is Kart Republic 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Joel Bergstrom for Forza Racing and the TM-powered Xpree, only breaking the KR stranglehold. Matthias Verheerder in P8. Zachary David, Keanu Bloom, Giovanni Trentin, Felix Arnold's driving nicely. The 3 Germans, Arnold, Rem, Nuradini, just outside the top 10. Maxim Rem has come from the back of the grid. Maxim Rem started grid 34 in the 225 Ricky Flynn Motorsport card. He's up to position 13. 47.503, another purple lap for Lindblad, but he's 0.3 of a second behind. There is Alex. Straight lines the ripple strip. Alex goes straight over it. There is Rafa. Behind him is Karol Pashovic. The Ward Racing Tony Kart is quick as well, but he's left it too late. Behind him, Wisniewski fighting with Matthias Verheerder and Zachary David as Arvid closes up on the back of Nikola. He is closer this time with 2.6 kilometers to race. Next time under the bridge. Down through the chicane. This time Lindblad gets the run, slightly sideways on the exit. Gets the slipstream. Alex is too far back to worry both the Englishman and the Bulgarian. A nail-biting finish coming up. Nikola Zoloff, he took pole position in qualifying. He won 5 from 5 heats. The pre-final this morning, he leads the final. He's a lap and a half from victory in the 2021 WSK Final Cup. Lindblad wants it though, the Red Bull Junior. He closes up the gap down to 1/10 of a second. Last lap next time round. Into the hairpin, dives down the inside. Lindblad leads. What a move from Arvid. Lindblad, the 2021 WSK Euro Series champion, takes the last lap board in position 1. Fabulous pass by Arvid. Nikola Zolov, who has dominated the weekend, will finish in P2 unless he can do something spectacular in the remaining 800 metres. Lindblad already goes defensive. Watch him white line it into the hairpin. Zolov around the outside. Lindblad just lets it drift. Almost cops a touch. Looks over his left shoulder. We are metres from the checkered flag. The OK final here at Adria. The WSK Final Cup will go to Kart Republic, but we don't yet know if it will be a Bulgarian or an Englishman who stands on the top step of the podium. Looks over his left shoulder. Gets the drive out of the corner, down through the chicane. What a race. He waited to the penultimate lap. That checkered flag does wave. What a victory for Arvid Lindblad. The WSK Euro Series champion has now won the WSK Final Cup as well. A nail-biting finish. Nikola Zolov will be absolutely devastated. Sure, second place is a fine result, but he has dominated since qualifying. He won 5 out of 5 heats. He won the pre-final by 5.3 seconds. He led from most of the final after not the best start, falling back. As Arvid is congratulated by Matthias, as Joel going through. He drove brilliantly to finish in P6. Nikola Zolov, though, until lap 19, he was in P1, but finishes in second place. Arvid Lindblad, too good here today, and he takes an incredible victory, the second of our 4 finals here this afternoon. The highlights of an absolutely brilliant race here at Adria. Kamara, in his last ever race, starts out at pole position, ultimately would finish 1 step off the podium. Joel Bergström drove brilliantly in the Forza Racing Express. Nikola Zolov did not get the best start, firstly going by Alex, and then taking the move, or making the move to go by and lead Arvid Lindblad. He put in fastest lap after fastest lap, and we thought he would simply drive away. Karel Pashovic, superb to come home in P5. On the penultimate lap of the race, Arvid Lindblad drove by Zolov, actually ran into the back of the other KR. Oh, that was just brilliant. Arvid Lindblad 2-0-1